And lastly, they kicked ass all week in the quickest and fastest Tesla in the world.
Yeah, probably one of my favorite Teslas, if I had to say.
If I had... Anyways, all right, guys, welcome to episode 138 of the Drag Driver Pete Show presented by Summit Racing. Tonight, if I had to drive one, let's be honest, this is what I would like it to be.
Yeah. Did you get to catch up with Mark throughout the week then?
Oh, yeah, I bothered him every day.
Yeah, so there's a Rotary peripheral-ported Tesla out of, I believe, New Zealand. And that might be my predilection between Teslas, but this one comes in a very close second.
That would be kind of cool. That would be really cool. Rotary in that thing, man. This thing is awesome. 565 cubic inch big block and the set of twins, bro, a jam.
Yeah, the video that you had of this versus the Hearse, imagine going to a drag strip and you see a Tesla rear wheel drive, big block, twin turbo Tesla and a Hearse.
Yeah.
That's sick week right there.
I wish this car was on small tires, to be honest, because I think you, with the hood down, you could probably hide it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The first time out was at 24 or 25, but before they had the wrap on it, it looked, by just sitting there, you're like, what's going on? And then you see the cage that's in it. You're like, okay, here we go.
Are those wheel tubs in the back?
Yeah.
I think the first one it was at was 24 maybe, and it was gray.
Mm-hmm.
Factory gray body, and then now of course we've got it wrapped. It looks incredible. Looks like a race car. Acts like a race car. Low eights all week. I mean, they wanted to be the first 7-second Tesla, and sadly it just didn't happen. But I feel like once they go back home and get some testing done, they'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
What did you say there?
Danny said I got woken up to that thing firing up. Man, what an awesome wake up alarm.
Yeah, definitely. Super cool car. And of course, Mark being in the passenger seat of that thing was it just gave us some insight. Robert Freund is the driver, guy works for Edelbrock, and just a heck of a good dude. And they struggled throughout the week too. They had problems all week and just working on bugs, man. It's crazy how these cars look like they're all put together and you got a whole year, but that's the way it goes, man. Sometimes it happens.
Yep.
All right, well, let's get into you guys. We've been talking about the event and all that kind of stuff, but I want to talk about you guys for a minute. Kind of, reintroduce yourself, tell everybody what you drive, what you do. Let's talk about drag and drive kind of related stuff, kind of kicking us off here.
Yeah. So my name is, again, Brandon Parker. I'm out of the Fort Smith, Arkansas area. As far for racing and stuff like that, I have it's a Golf R on the outside, but it's been DAZA swapped. So it's the underpinnings, transmission and engine transmission and Haldex. Those are all out of an Audi RS3. It's otherwise stock with a downpipe. So it runs in the 11.7s when it runs well, and I can use my feet well. I think Chris knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, no, it's a fun time. It's I think, we put roughly it's a fun time. It's a great car. For my needs, it fits a lot of stuff because I'm kind of precluded from being able to physically work on the car a lot. So it's a different level of set it and forget it. And it's my daily. So yeah, I gotta get it there and get it home at the same time.
Yeah. Talk about a fun car that would surprise the shit out of anyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you roll up on this and the dude's kind of edging up on the red light and you're like, whatever, dude. And then it's just like, bye.
Yeah. All-wheel drive helps. Yeah. I on the way. Oh yeah, that was a pretty good time. Trying to get out of Fort Smith area with the snow and the ice on the ground, but all-wheel drive makes up the difference. So it was pretty interesting. Well, I tell you what, we stopped partway in just outside of Memphis in South Haven, and they got to the hotel and they looked at us like we had three heads when they were like, there's 2 plow trucks in the entire state. So out of Memphis, they've been coming down to help them clear out some of the roads, but that was a very loose term of clearing out the roads. It was It was an adventure for sure.
Pretty sketchy. Sketchy. It wasn't bad by the time I got through there. There were some spots though where under the bridge and kind of tree line where I felt the trailer move around just a little bit.
I can imagine. Yeah, that was the one thing I noticed in that area was real under the overpasses, real almost like speed humps of ice. Yeah. Yeah.
Chris, what's up, man? Tell us what you got going on. DWorks is a leading manufacturer of high-performance fuel system components. They are the official fuel delivery system of Drag Driver Pete. The DW product line includes fuel injectors, pumps, rails, regulators, filters, lines, and fittings, plus surge tanks and modules, all engineered to support power levels ranging from 400 to 3,000 horsepower. With a focus on engineering excellence and industry-leading customer support, DWorks continues to drive the future of high performance fueling. Again, DDR10 code for 10% discount. Anything you purchase on DWorks.com.
So Chris Smith, I am from Westland, Michigan, so Metro Detroit area. I have 88 Cutlass, super original, 5.3 twin 66 Garrett's or Borgs, Power Glide, 12 bolt. Yeah, so I'll share my embarrassing story. So, this is probably 2 days not sleeping. My uncle's up from Florida. We're doing everything we can to get someone's old project car going. And long story short, if you have any foam in your fuel tank, don't put in E85. Please don't. That melted. And I got through tech and everything with it. And then, next morning I'm in the hotel in the elevator around 5:30. Keith Turk walks in and I met him at Sick Week. Man, what a great guy. So all cheery, hey guys, you ready to race? No, I'm borrowing a car to get my truck and trailer, get my car. He talks me into it. So this was Sick Michigan. So last year they had a hard tire class. So I just went with the truck, still hung out. I was running fuel for everyone. I run people back to tracks if they broke down. So we still had a really good time. But yeah, hoping to get that going this year.
Eric
knows
again.
about maybe
foam in a fuel cell.
Yeah.
Eric had to pull some foam out.
That was bad. There was a lot of guys that just kind of came around, right? Put hand on your shoulder, and I'm like, oh my God, I took myself out. So
learning,
whatever, you live and learn.
Yeah, mine wasn't E85, but mine was it must have been sitting for too long. And that was the first video, I think, one of my first videos that ever went, viral. It had over 1 million views, but everybody was telling me it was fake, that, the foam that I was pulling out of my gas tank wasn't real. And I just put it in there to make a video, and I'm like, sure. But then I pulled out my fuel pump and made a video of like trying to get it out of the fuel pump, the external fuel pump. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, pretty impressive stuff. Well, listen, the episode tonight is called accessibility. So I want to give you guys the floor. Kind of talk to us about what that means to you and how that impacts the entire community.
Yeah. So as with anything with the drag and drive stuff, it's all about just getting out and experiencing it. Right. And so I think that, so many people have hard enough time giving themselves permission to go do that and be out there. But then again, it's like another level if you have some kind of disability or if you're injured or something like that. So it's more of a, get in where you fit in type deal. And so it's, Chris and I really want to lean into that and show people that like we're doing it at our speed. Right. And so I think that so many people, they're worried about having the fast time and the stuff, but like just get out and experience it, right? And so there's so much fun, and you get to meet so many people, and it's a good way for like myself that to kind of take my mind off some stuff that may be going on, and then just kind of let your hair down. Well, even though I let my hair off, it fell away a long time ago. But it's just a great way to meet a whole bunch of people and get out and really, like, for myself, as tired as I was, I wound up being like feeling myself like more flexible than I normally have, because I was just like getting in and out of the car, in and out of the car, in and out of the car. And so it's like in that way, it was, it's just like showing that anybody can do this. I mean, from all walks, all ages, and all capabilities and disabilities for that matter as well.
It's a great way for us just to get out, right? Like, Brandon, I don't get out much. I don't know about you, right? Like, work and I'm home. So you don't get to go out and do a lot of that stuff. So I like cars. Well, yeah, and drag racing. Yeah, I'll do it for a week with a bunch of people and have a great time. And it really is. Everyone, you don't really have to worry too much. You got people around, you're fine. But man, it takes so much out of you. It is tough. Just like Brandon was saying, getting in and out, up and down. I got to go turn in my ticket, and I'm parked. I didn't get in early enough to get a close spot. Well, crap, that's going to take me 25 minutes to get there. I'm going to have to stop and take a break. So it's things like that, right? That things you don't normally see. It's tough. I'm tuckered out by noon.
Yeah, definitely so. Yeah, there's a lot of
pits.
Yeah, there's a lot of like planning that I think that, most people are going and doing for the day. But in my case, and then for case of other people, it's at a whole different level. And so you're just like, oh, I got to go do these things. But like, I have to, and I know I don't want to speak for Chris, but I know he does too, plan for the steps that you're taking. Cause like, it's the situation where if you forget something or something happens and you're like, oh no, I've already gassed myself out. Now I've really got to like go to this other thing. And so like for myself, every time that I've had a DNF, it's because I've fallen. I fell at Mike's event a couple of years ago, and then I fell at Six Summer and hurt myself. And I was like, I couldn't finish because, well, I couldn't walk anymore. And so like those kind of things are like it's differently frustrating. And so it's this level of like bandwidth. It's always like very, very high. And so it is nice in the fact that there's so many other people around that are very helpful to assist in those kind of things, especially with like the time slips and those kind of things. That is one of those things that is like differently frustrating because for sick week, aside from like South Georgia, there's not a place where I can like myself physically can go turn in my time slip because it's like upstairs or in a tower or something like that. So it's, you're kind of thankfully for co-pilots or people that are close at hand, you're like, hey, can you run this up there and turn this in for me? So there's just a different level of having to make concessions about different stuff, but still, nonetheless, go out and actually do it. I think that's the key thing that we're trying to get people to understand. Initially, if you want to go try out and do like road week or sick week or any of those kind of things, just get out and do it and see that there's a bunch of people that are happy to have you there and want to see more people out. And it's such a wonderful like family type situation where once you get into this kind of stuff, it gets under your skin and you just have to do it all the time. And so like you just want to like, champion this stuff and scream from the rooftops. Like, no, this is like some of the most fun you can have, whether you like cars or not. Like it's just a wonderful time and a wonderful community of folks that are very supportive.
Yeah, 100%. They are the best friends you can have. I mean, it's amazing how many people we've met over the years and how just, I don't know, there's always a friend somewhere within a couple hours when I'm on the road, or there's friends within a couple feet when I'm at an event,
Oh, for sure. And like, there's so many times where like that's the only time that I may get to see some of these people once or twice a year, depending on different events. And it's not like from people from the States. These are people from like all over the globe. And that's like it's such a cool thing. And especially too, when it's a shared interest. And so it makes it like that much easier to differently connect with folks through all these kind of things. It makes it real fun. Real fun.
Yeah, I agree completely, man. It's one of the best families out there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely so.
So with some of that you're saying there, are you saying to get to the track super early in the morning so you can get that upfront parking spot? Is that what you're saying? That's always the tip.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely so. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Try to maybe sneak in if you can, right? Maybe even if you see a spot, just take it. Throw a little extra on when you get out. Maybe
just yard sale it. Yeah, yard sale it real big, and then just take up as much space as possible. Is kind of the modus operandi.
Stretch your elbows out a little bit, get you some room.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, no, that is a big one, man. Pack and prep, because you do not know where you're going to be, right? So like Brandon said, it's like get in where you fit in, but even, when your car you think is super reliable, you might have an issue, right? We're going hard all week. My first trip with my uncle, we got stranded night one, side of the road, cut our drive shaft in half. It's a long night. So, what was it? Piece of exhaust wrap. So some of that Kevlar, and it wrapped around the drive shaft, clean cut. So that was a great night, long night. I sat on an anthill on the side of the road. But we made it to Bradenton. The next day, we were the last car in the lane before they shut it down. So Be prepared. Yeah, have your stuff packed. I mean, you should anyways. You're on the road for a week. But, some of those things you think, you can pick up in the morning, don't. Just have it. Be very prepared.
Yeah.
Do you have stuff you're always thinking like that, Brandon? Like,
yes.
For this?
It's definitely like, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure kind of a situation. So for myself, like I use like a manual wheelchair and have someone push me around in it before, just to kind of like save a little bit of time. I've now since kind of upgraded in a different way and have this electric wheelchair that is like, it basically reduces a lot of anxiety for me. So that way it allows me to like get around in the pits and all that kind of stuff. So it also makes the event more enjoyable, because like I don't feel like I'm kind of like stuck like either at the car or like in the one part of the stands where I can navigate. So it kind of like opens up a whole bunch of, it reduces a lot of barriers for me. It makes it a lot easier to get around, because there's a number of tracks that like while they are accessible in the sense that they're like they have ADA standards, there's a difference between like the letter and the spirit of the law. Like, yes, they may meet the metrics, but they may not be like functionally, for people that are disabled, like functionally good. And so there's some places where, and I think that Chris has been at this, in some of these people may be at the same place as well, where you kind of like go to a certain place and then you realize like, oh darn, there's either like loose sand or like loose gravel, or it's a big steep incline that I was not prepared for. You know, a case in point, where Chris and I met was actually at Orlando. And so like this really loose sand underneath, right behind the bleachers in front of like where the concession stands are. And so like for me, I was walking through there and it was just like, oh no, like I've made a big boo-boo. And so, kind of get caught out in those kind of situations. And so you learn like different tracks that are, different ways to get accessible. Obviously, Gainesville, it's a national level track. So it's set up just differently than some of the other places, right? South Georgia's is really nice in a myriad of functions. The pits there are really great because it's flat, it's easy to get around. Places like prior to Bradenton, for example, before they did a lot of the renovations and everything that they've done, it kind of sucked because of like there was again loose sand and grass and those kind of things. And so for myself, it becomes differently appreciable to not have to like, it just makes kind of like levels the playing field, knocks the rough edges off, and makes it easier to get around. And it's also too for like events like Insect Summer. Like I love those tracks, but some of them they're a little difficult to navigate for your boy. And so it makes it like a different level of tiring. So it's differently appreciated to see to have like the electric wheelchair, and then know that I don't have to like run the risk of those kind of things. And it kind of opens up a more enjoyable experience for myself as well.
So I don't guess I saw that much. Maybe once or twice. Where did you carry that?
In the car. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Everything. Everything's in the car. It's pretty tight in there. I've been
in cars that small for lengths of time that long, and I can't imagine by the end of the week that thing would be like a Tetris back there in the back. Eric knows.
Definitely so. Yeah, definitely. Like, and also too, like another situation is like, so back to like some of the ADA stuff, for like even in the hotels and stuff. Like I'll in certain places try to get an ADA room. Well, what stinks is like the toilets are too low, so I'll carry like a bedside commode that has like adjustable height legs, so that I can actually like use the toilet. I know that sounds like absolutely ridiculous, but there's nothing more, I don't know, like demeaning than like having to go to the bathroom and be like, oh man, I don't know if I can get off this toilet. And you feel, it's just like a whole nother like, oh no, I really did it. I really screwed myself real hard right now. And so, it's just, again, it's one of those things you don't know until you get in the middle of it. And so now, just different things that you didn't think you were going to have to take on your drag and drive trip. And so, but yeah, you again, getting in where you fit in and kind of adjusting the parameters for what's necessary to fit your needs.
To live in a car for a week.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly so. Exactly so.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. How do, as promoters, I'm not going to say do better, but how do we prepare for that? How do we make things better?
Yeah. Chris, you got any salient points?
It's not like, we're definitely not trying to come across, right? Like people need to do this, but yeah, I don't know, certain things, like even something simple, like I was mentioning, can I sneak a front parking spot, right? Nothing, not asking too much out of anyone, simple things like that, the turning in the tickets, and just like honest, to have access to the towers, to the people, and maybe some food and drink, right? Without having to go halfway across the parking lot. I finally got a scooter that I had to do a custom seat so I don't fall off, but if that's dead and I'm walking, I am 18 minutes now, quarter mile walking. So I'm wow. Getting there, but it's 18 minutes. So to put in perspective, it takes a while. I don't know, something like that would be super cool. And it's not like, hell, make it like maybe 2 spots and make us fight for it.
I think it's
like an early registration Jello wrestling duel.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. I think that whoever can blind the most spots with their ball, whoever can blind the most people with their bald spot, they would also be another way to do that as well.
You're just